to invite you here today for a heartwarming conversation where we could share about how each of our cultures celebrate this very special day. For starter, we would like to introduce you first to how we Vietnamese people celebrate our New Year. So here we call it Lunar New Year or just Tết. It is one of our most important celebrations of the year as it is the occasion for us to show our reverence to our ancestors as well as welcoming the forthcoming spring with our family members. The very first sign that will tell you when Tết is near is when you start seeing people going out in their áo dài, which happens to be the one that a lot of us are wearing today, including myself. We believe that wearing it is a way for us to show our gratitude towards our culture and a way to maintain the tradition. While there's more to what we do on this remarkable occasion, our friend Tom will be happy to show you around.
I apologize for the inconvenience, but first off, let's invite my friends. They're gonna talk about the chum cake, which is one of the traditional food of Vietnam, to come here and to tell you guys about that food. So, please, Bánh Chưng group, can you come here and talk about your presentation?
Bánh tét, which is as you can see here, it's a log shape. It's a log-like cake. This cake consisting of mung beans, pork belly, and some sauerkraut with it. This cake is wrapped around many layers of fruits, and in this case we use banana leaves. In this case we using banana leaves. After we wrap it, we're gonna boil it for around 16 hours. And after completely boiling it, it's gonna be ready to serve. There's two ways to slice it. You either cut it in a normal way, which is using a knife, or you can do it in a traditional way, which is using a string. And a fun fact, this cake is originated from Chamba Kingdom. It is known to be one of the remnants of the past Chamba kingdoms. And we as Vietnamese only exposed to this cake from around 15, which is a period of time where we are expanding our land southwards. And having a culture exchange with Chamba. And you might wondering, what is the meaning of this cake? Well, the outer layers wrapped in many layers of leaves, representing a mother trying to protect their child, and the filling inside, which is maybe a red or a yellow filling, depending on your ingredients you choose. Both representing luck and fortune for the new year. And I would really like to show you how to make it, but unfortunately we don't have enough ingredients to make. But we do have enough ingredients for bánh chưng. So here's bánh chưng.
Okay, we have a very special guest here. That's my co-author, geography teacher, who is showing us how to wrap a bánh chưng. Please give her a big round of applause.
So first, we are using a mold to wrap in chưng cake. The required ingredients are bánh chưng are glutinous rice, mung bean, fatty pork, and black pepper, salt, sometimes green onion, and fish sauce for salty taste. In the wrapping stage, one needs lá dong, strings split from them, one type of bamboo which has a long note, and sometimes a square mold in wood so that bánh chưng can be wrapped in a better shape. Lá dong, which is popular in only Southern Asia, can be substituted by banana leaves, so that have to be washed carefully in order to preserve the taste of cake. People often choose high quality rice and bean for making bánh chưng. They are soaked in water for 2 hours in case of mung bean, and 12 to 14 hours in case of glutinous rice. The fat and lean pork is preferred for bánh because its fatty flavor well associated with the glutinous rice and mung bean. After being sliced in big parts, pork is mixed with pepper, onion, salt, or fish sauce. For the bánh after that, glutinous rice is stuffed in the leaves, followed by the mung bean, pork, and finally another layer of rice so that bean and pork can be respectively instead of the cake. All placed ingredients are carefully wrapped in the leaves and bound by a string in a square form. In order to get a nearly perfect square string cake, the maker can use a mold of square form as the base of the wrapping. To keep the cake from mold or being spoiled, the cake should be carefully wrapped as tight as possible.
So nowadays, the tradition of self-made June cake gradually declines in Vietnam when the size of a typical family is smaller and people do not have enough time to prepare for the June cake. So therefore, the June cake still appears in each family during the 10th. But it is not a family product anymore, considered an indispensable dish in the Lunar New Year. June cake is placed on the family altar in order to honor the ancestors and pray them to support for the families in the new year. So wrapped in a green square package, June cake symbolizes the earth and the various ingredients which come from all the products from the nature. Also emphasize the meaning of the June cake with Vietnamese people.
Here, and he's gonna tell us about the so I got my friend here, he's gonna tell us about the traditional activity that we have maintained throughout many generations. So I would like to have Kai talk about this topic.
Okay. So when people think of Tet, the traditional Vietnamese poetry, it's one of the first things that the people of Vietnam think of. Tet can never be meaningful if there are no poetry that's being written by Ông Đồ. So who is Ông Đồ? Ông Đồ is in the past usually referred to a person who teaches children in the village. He is a person who is very wise and intelligent. He is a person who writes works of fortune for the person who seeks happiness and peacefulness for the upcoming years. This tradition of singing for Ông Đồ to have a meaningful verse or poetry to hang inside their home is still being kept until today. Ông Đồ can be seen as a continuation of a fine traditional culture from our previous generation. So what verse is Lão written?
So I written the word "ang" in Gia Đạo Bình An, meaning for the family to have a happy life and a peaceful life for the upcoming year. I wrote "ang" on a red piece of paper because red is in the Vietnamese tradition symbolized for the luck and the fortunate. Also, the red goes well with the yellow color from hoa mai flower and the greens of bánh chưng and bánh tét. So it's a color that the Vietnamese cherish a lot.
Yes. It's mean peacefulness and successful.
Thank you so much.
Hello everyone. One of the most well-known Vietnamese specialties are the Vietnamese jams. It is different than the jams in Western cultures because it is served in a dry form and it is made up of dried fruits. So here I have two types of jam, the ginger jam and the coconut jam. And I'm going to talk about the coconut jam, which is this one. So the coconut jam is made up of the coconut meat and milk and sugar. Apart from the traditional white colored jam, we can also add colors naturally extracted from fruit, like the purple color from the beetroot or the yellow color from the pineapple juice, for example. So here is the ginger jam part.
Okay, one we have is ginger jam, so please have a look at it. It's the yellow one. Okay, so you will never see without a TED table that lacks this treat. So ginger jam is famous for its particularly sweet and spicy and warm taste. And interestingly, these tastes in our people's thoughts are also a metaphor for a new year full of joy, excitement, and heat, like it's warm and spicy. Yes, and apart from satisfying your taste buds, ginger jam also strengthens your health because it has healing power. It will protect your stomach from all the feasts you have during 10 days. Yeah, it's not guaranteed that your stomach can endure it all. And so, for all these reasons, ginger jam has become one of our most famous and beloved food. And please welcome my friend will introduce to you about watermelon.
Like jam and normal jam. The next thing is about this kind of thing. Like I assume that everyone has tasted the juicy watermelon, and this thing is watermelon seeds. Like the toasted and the dry watermelon seeds is the symbol of wealth and luck. Like in the third day, every family in Vietnam, they always prepare a dish of this thing for for the guests to come to their house. And people eating this seed with a sipping cup of tea and talking together is a familiar image in the Vietnamese lunar new year. So the teacher would like to have some taste of this.
So, I'm so thankful for whatever you prepared. Right here we got really beautiful chum cake. Thank you for that. Our final destination, I would like to invite this group, my friends who's Toya and Elna, to talk about this really delicious and like eye-catching plate on here. So please, can you come here?
Beside bánh chưng and bánh té,
The fruit tray is used to offer to the ancestor and the decoration of every family during Lunar New Year. So, fruit tray is one of the most beautiful and important parts of Vietnamese culture for ages. As the Mother Nature gives Vietnam a wide range of delicious and healthy food, this fruit tray is used as an offer back to the earth and the sky, which represents a big thanks from Vietnamese people. So, family often chooses 5 kinds of fruit to serve to show their wishes for the best things and luck in the new year. These products are combined from the sweat and tears of the workers throughout the year. This fruit isn't the same, the selection of fruit isn't the same in different regions. However, each fruit symbolizes a great things. So recently, there could be more than 5 kinds of fruit on a tray. So the following fruit tray includes watermelon, papaya, mango, coconut, and finally custard apple.
So firstly, we have watermelon, and it is called as yu hao in Vietnamese. So Ted usually display watermelon on the altar, not only for the great decoration, but also for the purpose of praying for fortune and lucky things for the family in New Year's. With the red color of the watermelon, it represents for the lucky things. Also, the green skin is a hope for what is joyfulness within a life, within a year. With the round shape, red flesh, green skin, it is believed that watermelon is a symbol for what is fulfilled in life. Also, it is an image of hidden vitality that is displayed on the dining table and altars. Finally, having watermelon on the altar show how reverence of descendants to the ancestor, grandparents that have passed away in the family.
This fruit right here, it's called the custard apple. Well, it's always present in every region tray, as it's called in Vietnamese as bánh cầu, which means for to wish for. So in every tray you have to have at least one of those in that. And here's Budo, which is papaya, and it sounds the same to having enough, sufficient, and it's to wish for the prosperity and the fortune of the family.
The following fruit is coconut. It is pronounced as yu, which is homophonous to the meaning enough. So it embodies the wish for adequate lives and for not having to experience destitution. However, the meaning of enough may vary for each person, so it is quite pliable. Last but not least, this one is mango. The pronunciation is xoài. It is similar to sai, meaning to spend or to use. Therefore, the fruit embodies the wish for comfortable spend without shortage.
Please be free to come here and tell us about your perspective.
Thank you, Hope, for such a great introduction. Me, and let's get into the fun facts about Tet Holiday. So, as you may know, Tet Holiday is originated from China. And China, upon translating its name, it basically means the first morning of the year. And in ancient time, it also marks the new rice cultivation cycle, which was a big celebration for people back then, and so are now. So let's get into, well, big celebration. Any big celebrations have superstitions, right? Those are beliefs that we are made to follow, and some are listed. So, firstly, you have to make sure that your home is well kept and clean in the previous year. Because if you clean it, like sweeping floors and cleaning your home on the first 5 days of Tet holiday is forbidden. Because as you sweep anything out, luck might find a way out of your life as well. Yeah, that's the belief. And some people also like, I want to get a haircut because like new year, new me, all these new trends, right? However, hair salon is not open even. And secondly, hair is considered as a part of you, and cutting away your hair is me selling yourself off, in a sense. Yeah, and it brings back luck for you. Thirdly is that you have to, well, some people will set up fireworks, and it is believed to get the evil spirits out of your life. And however, you have to make sure that conducting any fireworks activity, you have to be clearly examined and be wary of, because the last thing that you want in such a joyous time is having an accident or any injury. And it is surprisingly, well, if you have a chance to visit Vietnam on Tet holiday, it is so much different from any other holiday because the streets are so vacant. Many tourists believe that, well, some businesses could the Tet holiday for the Songkran of Thailand, because they think that it's going to be a big celebration on the streets. However, people are home actually, because Vietnamese believe that Tet holiday is the annual family reunion, and they'd rather stay indoors instead of being outside. Therefore, if you have the chance of visiting Vietnam, make sure to stock up on food and other necessities that you might run out of beforehand. Thank you. So let's welcome Dee.
So you may wonder what's the difference between that in the old days and in the modern days. So I will be here to tell you. Today, the lifestyles of Vietnamese people are changing. People now prefer to travel with their nuclear family to ease the burden of housework and preparation during Tet holiday. People who love the traditional Tet cannot forget the images of a pot of bánh chưng, a glutinous rice cake, being cooked during the evening before New Year's Eve. But today, many Vietnamese families don't cook traditional cake themselves because these can easily be bought from supermarkets or traditional markets. Regardless, the cohesiveness among family members is still the same as before. That is still a time for family reunion, when all family members, regardless of where they are, try their best to come home by the first day of the Lunar New Year. So nowadays, if people work or live far from home and cannot come back for Tet, they can still use modern technology to get together virtually. This means that the space of Tet is not only limited to a physical or geographical space, but it has become a much larger social space. Thank you.
So, no matter how much change, even back then or now, there's a ritual that never changed. And it's also the part of Tet that I consider as the children always looking forward to the most, is receiving lucky money. So, the older people will give lucky money for the younger children. This action means they hope for a successful year for the child. Tết Nguyên đán is the most important and popular holiday in Vietnam. It is also the marking for the arrival of spring. Tết Nguyên đán is also mean the feast of the very first morning. Tết is an occasion for pilgrims and family reunions. So Vietnamese people will come back to visit their relatives, temple, forgetting about the troubles of the past year, and wish for the best for the upcoming year. That is also the meaning of that. I thank you from the girls from class 12B6 and 12B5.
Thank you so much. Firstly, thank you so much for your all lovely presentation. It was really nostalgic. Yes, and we also love the dances. It was wonderful, right guys? And so now I would like to introduce our lovely representatives from different countries. We have Ruksora from Uzbekistan, Chinshin from China, Audrey from Indonesia, Hiyori from Japan, Hinako from Japan, Sam from Myanmar, Yurina from Japan. So now we would like to present in each in order. First, Ruksora.
Thank you very much, everyone. My name is Ruksora, and I am from Uzbekistan. Now I would like to share a little bit of information about how we celebrate the New Year. Tell you first is big round of applause for you for your hard work. Your performances were very amazing and they were very informative. Thank you very much. So New Year celebration in Uzbekistan is quite interesting as well because we have two types of celebrations. And what we tell when the New Year comes is Yangi Yıl bilen tabriklayman. It's in Uzbek. I congratulate you with New Year. And we also use Russian language quite often in Uzbekistan, and we say S Novым Годом. Yeah, this is the spirit of New Year. So, yeah, let's move on. The first type of celebration is a traditional one. I would say nearly similar to the Lunar New Year in Vietnam. So, this celebration is held in spring, and the name of that celebration is Nowruz, also known as Persian New Year. So, as Uzbekistan is situated in Central Asia, and historically we were close allies with Persia. So, and Nowruz is celebrated on the 21st of March. It's also known as Spring Equinox Day. Since ancient times it's celebrated. This is a quite traditional and national type of a holiday. So there are big social gatherings, as you can see in the photos. People wear the national Uzbek clothes. And we prepare a very special meal called sumadak, made out of the wheat, mostly grown wheat. So yes, and moving on to the next type of celebration, this is the New Year celebration held at the end of the year, and this is more of an international type of celebration, which came to Uzbekistan, which was introduced to Uzbekistan in the 90s. at the beginning of the 20th century by Soviet Union, because we were part of it then. So, and as you know, it's celebrated at midnight of December 21st, which moves to the January 1st. The main symbol of this celebration is the New Year tree, as you can see here in the background, and as well as in the square. In addition to that, so the tree is not just a simple tree. It is mostly decorated with a lot of balls and then flashing lights and etc. So another big participant of the New Year celebration is Grandfather Frost, or Snow Maiden, as we like to call them. So you can see in the picture here. So there is a grandfather and a sort of a granddaughter, and they are imaginary characters of the New Year. So it's something like a Santa Claus, And as you might know, the New Year, the step of the New Year, is quite, I would say, quite a big celebration. It's a national holiday, families gather, and houses and streets are beautifully decorated, and of course we have snow. But we associate snow and the New Year with each other. So, and whenever we don't have snow falling on the day of the New Year, it's a little bit sad. But usually we have snow. And moving on to the main dishes, we mostly have the roasted chicken or turkey, and also a national meal named plo or pilau, you might have heard, made of rice. So here's the picture of it. And we have different types of salads, fruit, especially tangerines and orange. And when it comes to the other features of New Year, we have special big concerts, performances all over the country, also broadcast by the national TV. So, and the street, cars, and all the public places are beautifully decorated with flashing lights and drawings. We give each other different presents, and there's also a firework at midnight on the 21st of December. And so, my son, do we have enough time to share a video, or would like?
Maybe you can share the link, and we can.
Right. I understand. Due to the time constraint, we might not be able to show the video where you would see the Uzbekistan and the New Year in it. So I would like to share it, and thank you very much for your attention. And I'd like to give the floor to the next presenter, I guess from China, and she is Jin. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Victoria. So now because Xinxin is not here, so maybe we can continue with Audrey. Audrey?
Yes?
Audrey is from Indonesia, everyone. Please give her a round of applause.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm very glad to be here. It was very enjoyable, and it was great to know the traditions from Vietnam during the New Year's. So I'm going to explain about the things that I do during New Year's. So first, this picture is of a tradition called the Mandok Hata. In Indonesia, there are plenty of ways to celebrate New Year's, and this is just one of them. This is from a subculture called from the Batak people, and Mandok Hata means conveying words. In New Year's, the family usually go together, and then after midnight, they will have a time to talk about the year that has passed in front of the other family members. So they will talk about like how they felt during the year, how things have changed during the year, saying sorry to other family members if there was any mistakes that they did during the year to each other. And then basically this is the time that they get together, and then they can go heart to heart about how, like, if there's any mistakes, to open for forgiveness, and to also talk about like what the aspirations are for the year to come. So since I think a lot of Asian cultures, it is pretty hard for us to open up with our family, like usually. So there is a special time of the year for this, and I think it's very important. It is showing the value of togetherness and how people are, like there are times
to be open with the ones that you love. So for Mandok Kata, it's usually from the youngest to the oldest. And then usually the younger family members doesn't really talk much because they want to get it over with. But for older people in the family, usually they make a short speech or something like that. So this celebration it can be really long or really short depending on how many family members there are and how long they actually speak. So yeah, I think that's all because this is what my family does usually. I'm not that familiar with the other cultures since Indonesia has so many subcultures in it itself. So I think that's all that I can explain to you today. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to learn more about this Vietnamese way of celebrating New Year's, and I hope you can get something from my story as well. Thank you.
It was wonderful all day, Mandokata. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Interesting and heartwarming. I love it. It was wonderful. So, and now we will have Hiyori-san about Japan.
Hello, I'm Hiyori and I'm Japanese. And first, I would like to thank you all for your performances. I really enjoyed watching. So now I will introduce one of the New Year's traditions in Japan. I will introduce one of the traditions which is called Hatsumode. Hatsumode basically means to go to shrine or temple for the first time in the year, and it's usually on the 1st of January. And we go to shrine or temple and we pray for good luck and our health and success in study and success in career and so many things. And yeah, and this is the left picture here. It's the shrine where I go every year with my family. And the right picture here, it's called Omikuji. And Omikuji, it's a fortune-telling slip in English. And yeah, so after praying in the shrine, we try our luck. We try our luck by drawing this Omikuji. And if this piece of paper tells good things, we keep it in the wallet, and yeah, we take it and keep it in the wallet for 1 year. But if this tells bad things, we leave it in the shrine. Yeah, and another fun part of Hatsumode is that there are so many food stands near the shrine, and like this. Yeah, and they sell so many kinds of food like karage, fried chicken, yakisoba, some noodles, and okonomiyaki, and so many things. And this is my favorite, which is called castera. Castera is spongy, fluffy, sweet snacks. It really tastes good. That's all from me. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Hiyori-san. Thank you so much, Hiyori-san. And then we have Hinako. Can you present about your culture too?
Hi guys, so thank you for your performance. It was really fun watching it, and I'm so happy to be here. And I'll be talking about Asia. Because I lived in the US, I'm going to talk about how Japanese people in the US, it really depends on where you live, but how I celebrated New Year's in the US. So I think there's only like a few shrines in the US, so I was really lucky to have a shrine near my house. It's only like an hour drive away from my place. So so we would go to Hatsumode, like you already said, on New Year's, and then in this shrine, there's not only Japanese Shinto priests, but there's also American Shinto priests. So I found it really interesting that like Japanese culture is also accepted in like US too, outside of Japan. And like we would follow the same procedure as any other Japanese people would do in Japanese shrine. We would pray for good health and stuff like that, and also we would take out omikuji. And also you can buy omamori, which is like a good luck charm. And then they usually become ineffective after a year, so you have to come return it. And you can also buy a new one in exchange. And then, yeah, and then there's also, you can have like a shaman, Shinto shaman, help you send prayers to the god. Yeah, so it's like, it's really interesting because you can do the same things as you would do in Japan on New Year's. And yeah, this is how we celebrate New Year's in the US. And yeah, after that we would just go home and spend family time at home. And yeah, we don't do much except for have to love it. But yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for guys to see that like there is a mixture and you can do like the Japanese culture in America. That was very nice. Thank you so much. And then can we have Sansan about Myanmar, please? Thank you, San.
Hello guys, firstly I want to show you that it's snowing in Japan. Look at here, can you guys see? It's
yeah,
snowing.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
It must be cold.
Actually it's better to show the picture, but as I cannot share the screen, I don't know what's problem happening, but yeah. Just in Happy New Year in Myanmar we usually play water festival. Like the whole country, like all of the people in the country are wet because we play water festival. Like we just pouring water to each other. Even in the university didn't close. They just celebrating inside the university by pouring water to each other. So like at that day, like from April 11 to 16, everyone in my country are wet, like every region, because we play water festival. And then we offer some donations, and then foods is like it's kind of like a mochi. And then we put chili in the mochi to joke others. We were supposed to put some sweet things in the mochi to give others, but we put it in the mochi like the chili. So when people eat, like they're like so spicy, and we usually do that to friends and really close people when we want to joke for the New Year. The reason why we play water festival is like it's a New Year, so we want to clean the dirtiness from the past years. That's why the whole country were like celebrating for water festival for like 6 days. In Yemen New Year, we celebrate for 6 days, and all 6 days you're gonna be wet. So if you don't want to be wet in New Year, you shouldn't go out because everyone's gonna pour the water onto you if you go out. That's why it's a very like happy, how can I say, like very exciting festival. That's why I really recommend you guys to come to my country to celebrate water festival. But due to the COVID, the government stopped the water festival for less years, but still university students stay celebrating inside the university. So that's all.
Wow, that is so amazing. This is the first time I heard from Myanmar. Oh, they're cold, so better be careful, right?
Like people are kind of used to be wet, so like to stay. Not really, we didn't get cold, I think. Yeah.
That was great. Thank you, San. And last but not least, from Japan, Yurina-san.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I really enjoyed it. So I will share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes.
So first thing, like we do on the New Year, as he already said, we go to Shrine and pay for the respect. And after that, we will eat osechi with our relatives. Today, I will introduce my house osechi because the food that we eat during the New Year is different in the family and each region. The reason why osechi was created is that to make women to last for 3 days in the New Year. This picture of the food is my family eat in New Year. Usually the Osechi is like this picture, but in my house we choose to eat Chinese Osechi because there is a lot of younger people in my relatives, and also about like we will also eat these like Japanese type of osechi because there's a lot of people gathering in my grandparents' house. Also, there is, as you can see in the right side of the front of picture, there is a soup named ozoni. My father's parents from Wakayama Prefecture, so buri and oyster are in the ozoni. Also, there's omochi, rice cake inside of ozoni, but the shape is also different in each country, each region. Therefore, my father's parents thought we will eat the round mochi because it means there is the meaning of protection from disaster. And we will eat the mochi with soybean. And for my mother's parents' house, it is in Saitama Prefecture near the Tokyo. So we will eat like oshiruko, like these picture things, without putting a mochi inside of the ozoni. The food we eat in the New Year is different in the family and region. So yeah, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mina-san. Oh, I tried oshiriko and it was so sweet and I love it so much.
I screwed up the thing, but I think I did pretty well at the end. And I just want to say that before we say goodbye, I just want to say that I hope you guys having a good one. You guys are a good health and stay safe. Unfortunately, we cannot meet, so we have to like virtually meeting each other right now. But my last word is, I don't know, stay safe. That's it. Thank you. Have a good one.